What up, y'all? Happy Saturday. I almost said Sunday. Happy Saturday, y'all. Welcome back to the Call to Action Network. You know me. It's your girl, Denny Joy here. We are at episode 109 of Call to Action Live. 109 episodes. I can't believe we've been doing this for this long. March is actually our 3-year anniversary, so heads up if you're thinking about getting us something nice. We're just letting you know ahead of time right now. Just getting that out of that way. Sorry. What's up, everyone? Welcome. I'm here with my two favorite co-hosts. Usually with me on a Sunday. I'm so used to hanging out with these two. I'm so glad that we get to actually hang out some more on a Saturday. Miss Kelsey Kirkland, what's up, babe?
Hi, super excited to be here. Super excited to get to talk to Schmoedown with you. And it's always exciting to get to be on a show where Danny hosts because she's so amazing. So I'm honored to be here.
I'll try sometimes. There's also this guy who's down here. You all know him. If you don't know this guy, join the club. It's Mr. PLD.
It's me, PLD. It is a little bit of a chill to call to action. It seems like we do have it's kind of like a double whammy this week.
Chill to action? There's no way that we can mix and mash it.
Chill to call to action.
Chill to call to action. Call to chill. Chill to call.
Chill to call. Either way, you know what it is. We're talking Schmoedown, and there's the three of us on the same screen at the same time. And it's lovely. It's lovely indeed. I'm excited to be here. It's the draft happened. We're starting to get geared up into war. It's going slowly but surely. That train engine is starting to come on. We got to talk about a little bit of the draft today. We're going to talk a little bit about the matches that Christian has announced. This is going to be a fun time, I think. But we're not alone. We decided to bring on. We asked this person to guest with us. We didn't get to see her during the rookie hazing, as I like to call it. We had the rookie go through every single after show, and we did the tour after shows. There's only so many rookies and so many times and so much space. So we missed her the first time through. So post draft, we're gonna bring her in here. She is from Boston, which of course is a big Sox fan. I'm always happy to talk to somebody from Boston. In fact, she's a Boston badass, as Christian has decided to call her, and I like that too. So she didn't make a name for herself already. So let's see what she has to say for herself today. The Boston badass, Miss Paige Frabetti. How are you?
Guys. How's it going?
Hello.
Going very well. First off, I got to say congratulations. Are in order.
Congratulations.
It's been it's still mind-blowing to me. I'm still freaking and geeking, no pun intended.
Well, you're the freaking geeks. You're in the right faction, aren't you?
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that had to have been a good feeling getting drafted. Not just getting drafted, but getting drafted with Sam Levine. Sam Levine is a very, very notable character inside of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. He's been a champion, held a belt, did really well. With 2020 was a weird year for the Schmoedown, but Sam is a great manager. So working with Sam had to have been a pretty big, an awesome little plus to getting drafted.
I mean, honestly, it's I didn't even speak to Sam at all before the draft started or anything. So when he said my name, I was like, wait, what? Holy shit, he just said my name, right? I literally rewinded it 10 times. He's saying my name, right? I'm not just hearing things. I was tweaking the F out. It's still mind blowing. It's fucking awesome. All I have to say is it's been amazing. I have this man's phone number and email now. Say that, so
we won't ask for them on
air.
Sorry, guys, I can't give the away.
Fair enough. So you didn't talk to him beforehand. It was all completely a surprise to you.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Did you speak to any managers before the draft?
A few of them did reach out to me, which was pretty exciting and stuff. So I honestly had no idea where I was gonna go. I didn't even know if I was going to get picked up or not, to be completely honest. So when I heard my name called out, especially during the live draft, was just amazing to hear my name.
Right.
And it's still just crazy. To be wow, they actually just mentioned me right now on the Schmoedown. This is really, because I've been a huge fan since 2014, 2015. So the fact that Sam Levine and Mark Ellis said my name after, I was like, what? This is they know who I am now.
That was a neat little reaction video that you had also whenever you got drafted. That was the fun
and it was all legit. That was my sister, my aunt bought confetti just in case, and I was like, what? if I don't get drafted, like, what are you guys gonna do with it? So when they said my name, I was like, holy shit, bring it in now. Like,
Bring it in.
Poppers, baby,
It's a
let's go.
Wow. So I mean, you
Yeah,
guys
for
saying
sure.
now the draft has happened, and we'll break down some more about that in a bit. But like now this happened, it's kind of like the afterglow's got to get going. You got to turn it up and get ready for war. You guys started talking to your faction, and you got into meetings, meeting anybody else in your faction. What's that been like for you so far?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is when the hard work gets put in now. We all got drafted. Now this is the time we got to put in the work, show that we're meant to be here pretty much. So, no, it's been awesome. We've Zoomed with everyone, which is amazing. I've actually been talking to a lot of like my teammates, a lot of the rookies, which is nice. Me and Amaru did a study session last Wednesday, and we're gonna do that every single week. So I've just been like, honestly, like every 2 hours a day, I try to like study, play, watch a couple matches, or play the app on my phone, or just like run through like flashcards that I made and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to be as well-rounded as possible. Because I mean, like I said, we made it, so now it's time to prove ourselves. So.
Absolutely. You're still playing the app on your phone, huh? I think you might be one of the few left that can actually do it. I tried to.
I still play. I love that.
I like that, Kelsey. Thank you.
I try. I tend to lag out on me a little bit. I want to see a new update to it, Christian. Come on.
I do want to see an update. I kind of have some questions memorized now.
Yeah, I think that's actually, that's why I'm like, damn, I'm so good at it, but it's because I have everything memorized by now.
That should be the test. Like, you got to be able to get every question right on the app before you can move up.
I'm telling you, that's the future. That's going to be the new future thing they're going to have going on. Is like that's you're going to have to pass the test, beat Mark Riley, beat John Roca, and then you can actually play in the showdown at that point. Or whoever else is going to throw up there at that point. So let me tell. I didn't get a chance to watch many of your pre videos. What are you looking for? Singles and teams? Or are you?
Yes, singles and teams.
Okay.
Singles and teams.
Do you have?
I mean, a huge Star Wars fan. I have a Rebellion tattoo, Rebel for life. But no, I'd get my ass handed to me. I give that to Marie and Nikki. They're the ones that are gonna take that away. So.
Gotcha. So you're not like Ben Bateman in that you could study for 60 days and make a Star Wars shaping out of yourself. Then is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm just trying to be well-rounded in everything, but besides maybe that, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But if they're like, what species is Admiral Akbar? I'm like, I don't know. He's a fucking crab. Like, who knows? Like, like.
Well, actually, the Mon Calamari.
So I leave those to my two amazing teammates. So.
Perfect.
That's my buddy right there.
It's not a trap. It's a trap. So now that you have your team, well, your faction in place, is there someone on there you'd like to team with? I mean, I know you can't give away any secrets if you are teaming with somebody, but have you had your eye on somebody in your faction?
I mean, honestly, it would be ideal to be partnered up with everyone. I mean, everyone on my team is amazing, and I don't think the Schmoedown is ready for right now. I don't know if they know what's coming to them, but I mean, honestly, I think if I could like choose, I mean, I'd be honored to be with anyone. But I mean, Stacey Howard, man, I think we would be like dynamic, like Hill team, badass bitches, like Boston Paige and wherever Stacey's from, we could get it done. So.
She's from Texas.
Boston, Texas. That kind of has a similar attitude to a degree.
Yeah, Texas badass and Boston badass. We can get it started.
Yeah, I love
Get the trend going. Guys, let's start trending it right now on Twitter. Make it happen.
There you go. I love it. Sassy badasses. There's your team name right there. Right? Sassy badasses.
Sassy badasses.
Exactly.
Ooh,
I like that. That would be really good, actually.
If you're watching, Christian, I won't charge you anything. Just
you're already on the payroll, Paul.
Hey. I know. I was surprised to learn that Danny was from Texas too. I had no idea because she never mentions it on any. I've never heard her mention it in any podcast.
Have I never said that before? Have I never told y'all that I live in Texas?
I don't know. I don't
Giddy up!
So.
Wow.
Not once. This might have been the first time this show. So.
This show, yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Well, fair enough. Now, what are your thoughts on the upcoming season now? Like, are you ready to use anybody you want to call out besides Mr. Bateman? I know you already called out Bateman. You want to go shoot the big boys already. Is there anything else you're thinking?
I mean, gotta go big or go home. I mean, honestly, for me this season, it's all about getting points in my faction. So I'm just trying to take it match at a time and just see where it takes me. So
Nice.
I don't want to call
There's-
anyone and embarrass them, so I won't do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the league is on watch.
It is.
Ooh, let the
Yeah.
war begin, guys, is all I gotta say.
There you go. There you
Bring
go.
it
Love that
on.
talk. So, Paige, it's got to be different now going into the Schmoedown. You do have an Instagram page where you do movie reviews on there, correct?
I do feature flicks, guys. I wrote it down just so everyone can like check out. So
There you
Nice.
go.
it's flicks
Good
without
stuff.
a C, just so you guys know. And that's my
Yeah.
tagline below.
Nice.
So you're already
Yeah.
watching movies from a critical point of view. Do you feel
Mhm.
like that's going to help you study a little bit more? And are you prepared to have movies change for you? We hear Schmoedown competitors talk about it all the time. Now they can't watch a movie without instantly going into Schmoedown mode. Are you kind of already in that set with what you're doing now? And are you prepared to be in that mindset for every single movie that you watch from now on?
I mean, honestly, I've kind of always been in that mindset. Like everyone will tell you, I'm the worst person to watch a movie with because I always ask 21 questions. I'm just like, wait, so what's like behind that? Like, why did they do that? Like, who directed this? Whatever that actor is. Like, people are just like, can you just shut up and watch the movie? And I'm just like, no, I need to know all of this. Like, if I'm getting into the world, I want to know everything about it. So I don't
Do you have
think
a
anything
favorite
too
movie?
much will change.
Do you have a favorite movie franchise?
I mean, Scream all day, baby.
Nice.
I mean, Scream 1 is the ultimate, but I mean, Star Wars too. I would get my
Nice,
butt
fair
handed
enough.
to me. So
There you
I just
go.
like to feel part of that world. Like, I would be a Jedi. That would be so badass.
Really would. Really
And we're
would.
all open out that we're big Star Wars fans here. We like Star Wars. People who aren't able to make it into the Star Wars division. We select all Star Wars levels here. That's we have Padawans, we have Masters, we have Dark Lord, Sith Lord, Sith acolytes up there. It's all good. We love it. So it's all good.
We got them all.
We got him.
My favorite thing right now is the chat saying Scream is S tier.
Yes, thank you. We did a horror movie ranking, and Paul said that Scream is not S tier.
No,
And
well,
I
let's
What?
let's
What,
cut this
man?
back. You cut me to the quick every time. That's not exactly true.
You made it here, Paul. You made the final decision, so it's on.
There was a limit of 5 S tier horror franchises, and Scream was like 6th, and so it got bumped down. The idea was, what was more iconic, Scream or The Shining? That was the one that had it. And
I
went with
mean,
The
but
Shining.
Scream changed the game, man.
Thank you.
Shining and
Changed
Jack
the
Nicholson.
game.
I love Scream. I'm not saying I don't like Scream. I'm not saying that. I love Scream.
What's your favorite scary movie then, Paul? I gotta know
My favorite one of all time?
now.
To me, it goes back to the original Halloween. I'm an old guy. I've been an old white guy.
Michael
so I
Myers,
don't-
man. Honestly, it's tied between Halloween, because I mean I love the Halloween franchise too. Some of them in there I'm like, what the fuck happened? But
Me too.
but Halloween and Scream, like head to head right there.
I love them all. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big horror guy, so I watch Scream every day,
There
every
you go.
chance I can.
Me too, man.
So, but Kelsey always tries to throw me under the bus about that.
Because
So we never let
you
it down.
made the decision. You vetoed me. You're like, Kelsey, I'm
I
overruling
did.
you. And
Well,
so
that was my channel. It was my channel, so I said I had the final vote for Scream versus The Shining. The Shining was the first horror movie I ever watched and ever fell in love with. When I was like 7 or 8 years old, I should have been watching it because it should have freaked me the fuck out, but it didn't. And here I am years later watching horror. So
excuses.
How about you ladies? What are you guys' favorite movies?
Mine is
I'm
mine
taking
is
over the
actually The
interview now.
Shining.
No, that's a good. No, that is a good one though.
Yeah. My
I haven't-
favorite movie is Fight Club. I love Fight Club, so.
I'd go with that too. I'm actually more Star Wars. I'm an Empire Strikes Back guy myself, but yes, I am.
All
Jake.
day, man.
I knew that conversation was going to derail just a tad bit. I knew that was because I knew that there was a way to get Paul. If there was any way to get Paul riled up, it's going to be bringing up Scream S tier. Scream being S tier. So Paige,
Dude,
it
I got
sounds like
Casey Beaker on there for you right there.
that's what I'm saying. So it sounds like you're super into horror movies and stuff like that. That's got to be yeah. So studying for any other genre, like what's a least favorite genre of yours?
So least favorite, honestly, would probably be like musicals.
Yeah.
Not like I remember when I first saw Sound of Music, I was just like, why do all these chicks love this movie? Like I'd rather see some like blood and gore right now. So not really into this like singing from mountaintops. So that's not really my go-to. So I mean I don't want to give too much away for my competitors if I get opponent's choice or anything. But actually guys I'm really good at it. So
You know
no,
what?
those,
Like, actually.
but honestly, like right now, it's just trying to strengthen all of the categories I can right now. I want to try to accommodate with everything I know and just try to improve on every category. So that's like right now what I'm trying to do. Be well rounded
Yeah.
as much as possible. And you never know what's gonna get thrown at you in the Schmoedown. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then with the digital wheel, we all know
yeah.
the digital wheel has a mind of its own and is part of the Schmoeminati. So that's canon in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a horror girl, then, though, you must have loved the idea of the horror free for all last year. You know, maybe to be
Oh,
the
I
suspect.
did. Yes. I did.
So
I did.
you,
I was so funny. I was on the Facebook page the other day, and I was like, "We should have a rookie free for all." Christian, just throwing it out
I
there.
see that. I think that would be a phenomenal way to introduce the rookies to the league. Get them
Right?
away
I
from the
think that
gutter
would
for a
be
little
such a
bit.
clever way. Just throw everyone
Yeah,
in there and just see what goes down.
absolutely. Let's see what you all got. You had a lot of hype. Now let's see what you got
Oh
against each
yeah.
other.
I mean,
That
and
would
the horror free for all. I would love to be part of something like that. I mean, definitely a huge horror girl, so that would just be
Sweet.
something amazing to experience. So.
Looking over your draft maze. I don't know if anybody stands out as someone who would be more suited then. So maybe you gotta that's your leg up. That's your leg up. Talk to Sam right away. Get in his ear and say that. So when the horror free for all comes, I'm your girl. That's what you gotta do.
Exactly.
But I know you already know that because you already said you called out Babe and you know what to do. You know he got to get things out there and get ahead of the game, so to
You
speak,
gotta.
right?
Can't just sit back and relax. You gotta make something. You gotta make it
Make it
happen. You gotta get the ball moving yourself. So.
Well, you did say you have been watching since 2014, so since the beginning, really, at the time. That's so. What do you think about the evolution of the game from where it was basically Christian and Mark and McCougar like sitting on a couch playing against each other to like now we're minus the pandemic playing in front of 1,000 people in Chicago or a couple 500 people in New York. What do you think about the evolution of the game?
I mean, that's what I think the crazy part is. Like when I found the Schmoedown, I was like, "Holy shit! There's like this little community, like just like me." So like the fact that I feel like I've evolved with it as well. Like I think it's game changer now. I mean, no one else can just say movie trivia is like this. Like this personality, and I think that's what makes it so different, so unique than any other trivia, pretty much like any other like YouTube like channel kind of in a sense. There's so much more to it. It brings so much character, and it's just that's the best thing about it too is that so many more people are growing within the Schmoedown as well. Like we have so many newbies now. I mean, you had Adam Collins, like a rookie last year, literally got the belt. Like, now look at him. Like that's what I mean. It's just like crazy. Like so many people are getting different opportunities now. So it's just like amazing to be like part of this.
So now, obviously, it began and kind of it's that combination of sports and pro wrestling, so to speak, with the character aspect. You seem to have a very like charismatic personality. Are you into like doing the heel face thing as far as that goes and developing a different character than your personality? You're someone who's just going to just amp up yourself and take that as your personality.
I mean, I definitely just think like amping up myself. I mean, I grew up playing ice hockey my whole life, so I'm small, but I'm feisty. Once I'm in the game, it's all focus, baby. So I'm just ready to go in there and just, whew.
Especially with the way that the league is right now, having to be digital. With you being on the East Coast, that's also a good bonus. Find the good and the bad, and being able to have these online matches is going to be great. So we get to have personalities like yours. I think your personality is going to shine inside of the league, and you're going to fit in just right. And I think that you have a wonderful manager behind you to support you to grow your character. And character is a funny word to say sometimes whenever we're talking to people who are competitors inside the Schmoedown, because your character is just an extended version of you. It's just like you turned up to 11. So
exactly what it is. No, that's like the best part about it is you just get to like go in Like you're not at like a 6 anymore. You're literally going balls to the wall. Like I'm at a full like 12. Like let's fucking go. Like that's how it's gotta be when you're playing. I feel like.
Well, you've seen different formats come and go. You've seen the teams match. You've seen free for alls. You've seen the Iron Man matches. You've seen different things like that. Is there any kind of form that you like better? There, you just like the straight game. You like some of the different alternate versions of the game. What's your go to?
I mean, definitely, I love like watching like singles and teams. I love free for alls. I think those are so fun because everyone's in the same place at once. I mean, they're all digital and stuff. I gotta say, I think that's like another chance for the Schmoedown to grow in a sense. Like I would have never gotten this opportunity if the pandemic kind of happened in a sense. So, I mean, there's always been that, and I guess the pandemic really helped me in this one with this situation. So can't be mad at it too much, even though it sucks staying home a lot of the time. But no, it gave me this opportunity, and so I mean, whenever we can go to the live studio, I mean, you bet your butt I will be right. I will be flying out to Cali to be right there to experience that. But for me, definitely like the free for alls. I think it's so cool, like to have everyone in there. Like you don't know what number you're gonna get, when you're gonna get thrown in there. So it's just like I think those are like the funnest matches to watch.
I agree. Actually, they're my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Now you have, like I said, you talked about the pandemic giving you your chance. You're starting the digital form. That might be a way to ease yourself in. You think you're ready for the studio. What about the live events? If you get that far in your career, are you excited about a live event? You think you'd be nervous on a live event? Some people seem to come under the pressure. Some people amp it up.
I mean, I might have to take a couple like shots of whiskey beforehand before I get on stage in front of a bunch of people. But I mean, I like that would just be like a dream come true if I could participate in a live match.
Nice.
In front of a live audience, like that would just be awesome, especially if it was in Boston. Christian to Boston, man, next place. I you guys in New York.
What I think that was the plan for last year,
yeah.
to get a Boston match in there, and that one for sure I would have gone to. I know 100% I would have gone. Any opportunity to go see a Schmoedown match live is always a good one. And see, look, I'll make the trek to the East Coast to go see Paul. Paul won't make the trek to Texas, but whatever.
Did we not meet in Houston or outside of Houston? And when Ben and Drew were in the wrestling ring, I was there.
Tries to block that out.
Fair enough, I get that. Well, I'm upstate New York, so I'm New York City, Boston, both like pretty much equidistant to me, so I'm all over going to that. So I'm all over that. And if you go to a live event in Boston, go to a live event, find the Action Army. Jake always buys whiskey shots, so you'll never have any doubt there. So you're ready.
All right, good stuff then.
That's what you got to find at the live shows, that's for sure. And you've been to the live show in Brooklyn. Have you been to any other of the live shows?
No, Brooklyn was the only one I've been to. I was definitely wanted to go to more, but that's why I'm hoping once this pandemic gets over, I'll be able to go to somewhere and participate in them. I mean, I still have my Cougar pin right here, guys.
Yeah.
Put them on Jeopardy.
For Jeopardy. Yes. I mean, one live event is enough to really understand the hype is real. Like you have to go to a live event to really experience the Schmoedown in a way that you really can't when you're just watching it online. It's a whole nother level when you're live. It's fun.
Oh, and it was so fun to like be like, well, like there's hundreds and thousands of people that have the same exact interests as I. So it's just like cool that we can all, so many different people can just bond over like one same experience and one similarity. I think is amazing. So
yeah.
Makes me feel at home. So,
speaking of live events and entries, you're going to have obviously David B will be making music probably for you eventually, especially if you get big enough. But would you have an entrance song if you could choose? If we could go back to the times where you could use actual published music, so to speak.
So funny. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I probably got to play like some like Boston song. Like it has to be like a Boston song, like Dirty Water, like something Dirty Water, something Dropkick Murphy. Like it's got to be something like that. I feel like just to rep Boston because I don't think there's anyone else in the Schmoedown that's from Boston. I mean, well, like obviously Roxy and Jeff Snyder and
Patriots used to have it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like a rookie that's a chick. So
Interesting stuff.
Why not?
I
But
like
it's so
that.
funny. My sister was like, you should like walk by like Cardi B. I was like, no, that will not be happening. Like, just drop to the ground real quick and just start twerking. Like,
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. Sorry.
Not gonna be a way.
this is a
But yeah, no, I was
family-friendly show now. We can't do that anymore.
Just so you know,
definitely thinking some Dropkick Murphys though. Shipping off to Boston, like perfect one right there.
And Danny, just so you know, Jake did this for me. Thank you, Jake.
I know. I see that.
There I am. I'm in Houston right
all a
there.
lie.
Right there. I'm in Houston.
Solid
There
lie. I am.
There you are, Danny. All right. So
I am very upset at this picture, Jake, because I am wearing the exact same shirt.
you are. Look at that.
This is my favorite Schmoedown shirt. This is my absolutely favorite Schmoedown shirt, and one of my favorite shirts to wear ever. It's a long sleeve T-shirt. I love long sleeve tees. These are my favorite. I cannot wait to get some Suspects merch. Paige, are you excited about that little like tidbit for the Schmoedown now? Like now you guys get to have this little bit of pool from the Schmoedown merch.
That's what I was like,
kinda
honestly, if like my team could like win a belt, I was like, I gotta hold that bad boy. But like now that I was like, there's actually like a mini prize right there for first and second place. I was like, guys, now we gotta put in the work because I like to walk away with a couple extra bucks in my pocket. So I mean, it was so funny. Like I bought myself a couple shirts the other day, and my sister has a cricket machine, so I was just like, you definitely have to put Boston Badass on the back of that. I'm pretty much making everyone in my family get shirts now, and they're just gonna rep Boston Badass on the back of it. So
that's what you
probably not.
When people ask you like what to get you for gifts and stuff, you just make them buy your Schmoedown merch and just tell them to keep it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm buying everyone now for gifts.
There you go.
Oh, it's your birthday? It's Valentine's Day? Okay, you definitely want a Schmoedown trip for the usual suspects, right? Like,
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I know the merch is actually very comfortable. I gotta say the sweatshirts are like one of the most comfortable sweatshirts I've ever owned.
They're nice.
One of them. I shouldn't even say this on air. Like I wore it for like 3 days straight and like, didn't even take it off because that's how comfortable it was. I shouldn't say that, but it's washed.
We're in a pandemic. Who showers nowadays?
Exactly. Who cares?
Like, lucky if we're wearing pants. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I may even not be wearing pants right now.
So, yeah. I actually got work pajama pants on. I'm good.
Exactly.
I had to go to work today, so I actually had to put clothes on. So
it's gotten to the point where like putting jeans on is dressing up. Yeah.
Actually, so they're filming the Netflix movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence in my hometown in Brockton. So I actually went and visited a couple of the sets today, which was pretty cool. So if anyone goes on my Instagram, you can, or my Twitter, you guys can see some of the pictures. It was pretty freaking cool. I mean, I didn't see my future husband, Timothée Chalamet. If you're listening, Timothée Chalamet, marry me. But
Timothée Chalamet, friend of the podcast, he totally listens. Yo, hit Paige up. Let us know. Chalababy, come on, let her know.
Chalababy. Is that a real thing? That's what you just made up today. I gotta ask.
I just made
it. Okay.
I'm gonna use that for long though.
That's now a thing.
Sorry. That's what you get with like a very half sleepy, half Red Bull feud. Very, very mentally exhausted Danielle. Posting something, trying to survive on here. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can find another segue in these books. Paige.
We have a 2-time award-winning podcast. That's how it works. We have segues galore. We just throw them out there. We're all on board at the same time. It's great, really.
Yeah. No. Okay, seriously, I found one. We're gonna move on to this interview part of it. Paige, so now that we all have to be inside of this pandemic, we have nothing else to do now. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Now you do have something to do. Now you get to study. Now you get to fill in these binders.
Exactly.
Like binders was such a famous thing. Like when people first started talking about studying versus like binders, like everyone had this binders thing. I'm very interested to hear from you. Like, you don't have to tell me any study techniques. I'm not here to get the study tea or anything like that. But I am interested to know if you've learned any techniques so far that you would have never thought about before. You don't have to tell me what they are. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to tell me what they are. If there are any techniques that you've learned so far that you would have never thought about to help you study and retain movie trivia knowledge?
I mean, I was actually talking to Rachel Cushing, which is like Rachel and Clark, by the way, are one of my favorite competitors. So Rachel like chimed in during our Zoom meeting and stuff, and she was just like giving us some great insight on what's the best ways to like go about studying and stuff. I mean, I don't want to give too much away with like what she said, but like for me, like ranking the categories, I think was like a big one. Like, what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? And I mean, let me see if I can find some of my flashcards. I have like a stack like this big right now, and it's still going. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna memorize like 5,000 flashcards, but I'm gonna try my best. But honestly, for me, like I said, like watching old matches, playing the Schmoedown app on my phone. I feel like just quizzing myself is just helping me learn my strengths and my weaknesses more, what I need to work on in a sense. So I feel like that's kind of what I've been doing a lot right now is watching matches, quizzing myself. I have a bunch of trivia games, so I'm like, I'm like going to the store. I'm like, I need to find more now. Like I'm like buying off the shelves. I'm like, I just need everything right now to study. So, and then it's just me begging people to like quiz me, so I can write them down in like 15 seconds on the whiteboard and stuff like that. So.
I do love to hear you say that you're watching old matches. I do feel like it's very important for any of the rookies going in to get a good understanding of the gameplay. Like, it sounds so trivial to think of. Like, I know we all know how the game is played. We all know the rules. We all love to listen to Mark Ellis's golden voice explain the rules to us every match. It's wonderful. I listen to it and fall asleep. But it's very soothing. But I lost my train of thought. I don't know how this happens anyone who knows this knows this happens to me every once in a while. My train of thought gets lost. So matches and Paul, help me out.
Older matches.
Older matches and using that to study. Thank you, Paul. So you're watching older matches and using that to kind of help you study, so you get a better understanding of the gameplay. And I think that's very important for rookies to know, because knowing the game and understanding the game is super crucial to how you go forward. So I'm very glad to hear you say that.
Exactly. I mean, whenever I get my chance to play the big boys, I mean, I'm going to know their skill weapons. I'm going to know what their strengths and weaknesses are. So, see, that's like the blessing with me is there's no game tape on me. No one knows what to expect. So, it's either like really high expectation or a really low expectation. So, I'm just going in hoping for the best. Like, I'm trying to study my butt off. So, fingers crossed, everything goes well for me. So,
have you ever played in like families? Ever tried any? I mean, have you done any kind of like trivia at all? Just local bar trivia at all? I mean, anything?
I mean, just like honestly, just like bar trivia. I mean, when I watch the Schmoedown, like me and my friends will play along and stuff like that.
Right.
But I never played in any of the families or anything like that.
Okay.
And I was just like, damn, maybe I should have beforehand. But like I said, it's kind of my secret weapon. No one knows what to expect from me right now. So
that's not bad. It's not a bad thing to know, because a lot of people are looking. I know, actually, I'll tell you quickly. I know one of the rookies had game tape, and all of a sudden, as soon as they got put into the draft, they deleted all their matches, and it was just put into the ether, so no one could see them now, because that is a smart move to make in that division. But you said, again, you mentioned the Shire Wolves seem to be your favorite, Rachel and Clark being your favorite. Do you have a favorite moment from the Schmoedown? Like some of the ones that really you remember, like you got a top, say a show like Call to Action was going to be doing a top 11 moments in Schmoedown history on Monday. Just pick like a random day. If we were to do that, like, what would be some of your top moments in Schmoedown history?
Ooh, I mean, definitely in one of the free-for-alls. Who was it? Draco? I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. That like knocked out.
And Draco.
Yeah, it was Draco. Yep.
Like Draco. I can't remember who it was, but literally knocked out everyone, and he was just like standing there, just like, wait, I got the question right, so what's going on? And everyone was just like, damn you, dude. Like that, honestly, that's like one of my favorite moments, because I was just like, holy shit, man, he just knocked out all the big boys real quick. Like,
spoiler, that might make our list. Spoiler, that might
I hope it does.
Definitely. Thank you, Ferris. Always good about it. I love that. Ferris Madonna, love that man here. So Ferris. Great though. Okay, so that's your favorite. What about Clark and so you had Shire Wolves? Do you have a favorite match between the Shire Wolves that you can remember that's your favorite?
I mean, honestly, any of them. Just like seeing them out there, like just two chicks that just knew their movie trivia. Like that was like the awesome part, was just like chicks out there that are just geniuses and just showing the men just what's up, and that's what we need more of in the Schmoedown is more chicks playing the game just as hard as the boys. So I'm glad, like it's amazing. I have 5 chicks on my team. Like not many
You
people
guys
have
definitely
that,
have.
which is amazing.
Yeah, there are definitely 5 strong women, so it's gonna be definitely interesting to see how that all shakes out. That and you got a celebrity on your team. There are actually 2 of them. You got Doug Benson and Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
You might be able to get his autograph. He's your teammate now, so you got to be able to like talk to him.
I know.
At some point.
Like, can I get those digits? Is that okay? Like, do you know Timothy Chalamet? Like,
he's
there's got to
watching.
be 6 degrees somewhere, right? 6 degrees, 7 degrees. It'll get there eventually.
Exactly, right?
All right, we're back. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Oh, I have no idea what totally caught off guard there. All right, so I have no idea what you guys were talking about. It sounded like y'all were talking about Paul Walterhausen and Doug Benson.
Yep.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's got to be super exciting to get into affection with them and get an opportunity to talk to them. But when it comes to Schmoedown players that are inside of your faction, you got people like Ethan Irwin and Liz Shannon Miller and Drew McQueenie back from
like,
the Schmoedown grave.
Think about it. It's like crazy. Like I have Sam, who is a former team and singles champion. His advisee, Rachel, which is one of my favorite players, was a team champion and like an inner geekdom champion. And then I have Ethan and I have Drew that were champions. So I'm just like, I'm gonna be learning from like the best of the best right now. So it's like awesome to have that opportunity.
Yeah. It's got to be interesting to also be able to have conversations with Amaru. Amaru's a super hyped up rookie and one of the biggest contenders for IG going into the next season, and knowing that he's a big time game player inside of the fan leagues, that's got to be super helpful to have someone like that in your corner also.
Oh, he literally last Wednesday, like every single week we would like talk and we were like, let's do a study session every Wednesday. So it's nice that like getting to know my teammates but also studying is a huge, I mean, he's a freaking genius. So I'm like Jack-o'-lantern or Jackal or Jackhole, whatever your name is out there, get ready for your match, man, because my man Amaru is gonna open a can of whip ass, I think, in a couple weeks. So
that's gonna be interesting. I'm super excited to get these matches going. I know that you can't, if you did know, you wouldn't be able to let us know if you had a match coming up. But if you had to, like, out of these rookies that were in there, is there anyone that stands out that you kind of want to go toe to toe with?
Honestly, it's okay. So funny. I mean, I don't know this chick really at all. I think her name is Beth May. Someone was like, wait, have Beth May and Paige ever been in the same room? Because I think we like, so I'm like, all right, let's go head to head real quick. I don't know what league she's at all, but I was just like, why not? I mean, I would take anyone though. So.
It'd be really cool.
Nice. I like that. With Amaru going against Jessie Swift, and if you go against Beth May, that's a good suspects Merc.
Oh yeah,
rivalry going.
Rivalry right there. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Do you have any favorite rivalries in the Schmoedown history?
I mean, anyone that dislikes Ben Bateman. I mean. Ooh, am I calling her a man? I don't know.
No. She's
I mean, there's just like so many. I don't know. I mean, I definitely think the thing with Ben Bateman, like that was crazy when they like were the tag team buddies and then they just went against each other, and I'm just like, whew, man, leaving your man hanging to dry right there, like that's cool.
Yep.
But
that would also tore us apart as well.
Subject over here. So I guess that lets us know exactly whether or not Paige is team guy or team trader. I think we've figured that out.
Well, we figured out team guy, team trader, huh?
Yeah.
On the right side of the
we were asking about rivalries, and I asked her what her favorite rivalry was. I asked Miss Paige what her favorite rivalry was, and she said Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy.
Civil War.
The Action Army Civil War.
You seem like you'd be a team guy girl. You seem like you'd be definitely not a team guy girl.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
See,
I felt so bad, man, when he got kidnapped. Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's found. That's my biggest thing. Hopefully he's found. I'll find you guys. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah, he is a former suspect. He's true. You know, we can't leave a man behind. He's a suspect. So
Exactly.
get on that.
I'm looking
That's
for you, guy.
There you go.
Do you like the storyline angles? Are you looking forward to getting into a storyline potentially?
Oh yeah. I mean that's like the fun aspect of the whole game. I think is it's beside like obviously like answering movie trivia questions is like the funnest part about it. But I think the number 2 is getting to play like a storyline and a character in a sense. So
I like that.
and I'm from Boston too, so we're feisty. We're ready to go.
That would actually be great. I don't know if you've seen Rick Riders. I think
Ooh,
Paige versus
yeah.
Rick
Oh
Riders
yes,
could be very
me
fun.
and Mr. I'd actually like to see me and Rick go against each other because I want to say the other day I actually did a interview with him, and that man thinks he's too much like Dagnito, like not Dagnito, sorry, Mr. Gucci Man himself. Like, oh, what are you doing over there,
Gucci.
man?
Snyder versus it's a little combination of everything. He's definitely
No, he's a cool man though. He's a cool man.
He is. That's a good question. That's a good point. He might be locked in a dungeon somewhere. Maybe Bateman's behind the whole thing. You don't never know. You never know at this point.
A suspect will come find you, man. Don't worry.
All right. Well,
Hashtag save guy.
well, we should break into some of the matches that Christian announced this week. Paige, you're welcome to stick around and help us go through them if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll stay on for a few extra minutes. Why not, guys?
Sweet. Because we finally, we've been kind of doing this off-season thing for a while now, kind of led up to the awards, led up to this free agency, led up to the draft. We're finally getting back into the regular season, and we have the commissioner made some big announcements, of course, in the last week. Of course, the one that we've known for a while, we can talk about that one first a little bit. The big one that's going to open up the season, the double match. We got, some big name coming in there. We got Laura Kelly versus Molly Damon. And we got Chandra Dhandapani versus Mara Kanapik. The Star Wars match first, Laura Kelly versus Molly Damon. This is a big one from the last year's tournament. We get to see two strong, powerful Star Wars ladies going at each other for that potential number one contendership match. What are you guys thinking about this? Are you guys excited about this one?
Go ahead.
I'm super pumped for this one. This is going to be a great match. I can't wait to see Molly Damon and Laura Kelly go against each other. That's a match that I just want to see just in general. I'm excited that the first match that we get for the new season of Schmoedown is a Star Wars match. The Star Wars division was a big part for me last year. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the division grow this year. Those two ladies going head to head against each other is going to be great. Those two, there you go. That's right. Don't.
I like her more and more every minute she's on screen.
You guys can have me on whenever you want.
Yeah. Paige, whenever these Star Wars matches are on, do you ever play along at home? It's too intense to yeah.
My best. I leave that to the pros, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's so intense.
I love my favorite thing about Star Wars is I just love it. It's so fantasy. It's just amazing. I get to put myself in this world in a sense while I'm watching it for 2.5 hours. So for me, that's my favorite thing about Star Wars. I'm just man, I want to be a Jedi. That's all lightsaber what I have.
I want to be a Jedi.
We all want our own lightsaber, that's for damn sure.
Yes.
Some of us want red, like Kelsey. Some of us, want green.
I want a yellow lightsaber.
You want a yellow?
I have a red one. Always an arm's reach.
Never know when you need it.
No. If I'm around Paul, I need to be ready because you never know when he's going to piss me off.
Never know.
Kelsey, how are you feeling about this Laura Kelly Molly Damon match?
I'm super excited for it, but also super torn for it because that is the match I wanted to see during the tournament. I was wanting it to line up, so I got to see those two ladies play against each other. And now that it's really happening, I honestly don't know who I am rooting for because I love both of them so much for different reasons. I mean, Molly's on the dungeon, and you know how I feel about the dungeon, but Laura Kelly was one of my favorite character turns last season. I loved when she joined corruption and went to the dark side, and I'm hoping at least that continues at least a little bit. So I'm leaning Laura, but it's gonna be a hard one. But I'm super excited for it.
I gotta tell you, story-wise, personally, I want to see the Damons go at each other eventually. I want to see Damon versus Damon for the belt.
Yeah, that would be a good match to see. I mean, I gotta say though, I've been interviewed by Molly a couple times on Point of View, and that girl's got a collection of baby Yoda. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
got Grogu's for days. So I mean,
Yes.
I'm kind of favoring with her on this one a little bit, but we'll see, guys.
If she can get to Dave, if she can get to Alice, I mean, who knows Alex better than his wife, for Christ's sake? I mean, really, who knows
Yeah.
his weaknesses better at this point? So that's what I want to see. Of course, the interesting thing about the whole night is it's the faction battle that really begins. You have Swag and Dungeon potentially with like both of them are going against each other. It's two Swags against two Dungeons. So whoever wins, if one of those teams can sweep, they're starting off the bat right away on top of the faction wars with a good sizable advantage. So I'm very interested to see how that goes down. I'd like to see Molly win that one, but we'll have to find out. Of course, the other match, Chandru Handapani versus Mara Kanopik. Mara Kanopik's big return. She made she was kind of returning last year, never really made it back for whatever reasons, but now she's back and she's got a title shot right away. I'm very interested to see where Mara is. A year off seems like it's a long time in this league with the advancements that the division has made. But I personally, I'm going to say it right now. I hope that she wipes the floor with Chandra. That's my hope because she's a dungeon head. I'm more of a dungeon head at this point too, anyway. So, but Chandra is definitely a tough cookie. He's proved himself. What do you guys think about this one? Are you guys up for this one?
Mara all day, man. I think she's got it in the bag. I think that's what she was doing studying. So,
all right. She does have a great study team at this point. You got Dan Murley, you got Ben Bateman, who's been the king of strategy. You got Smets, who's a great IG champion as well. Former Parker, great IG champion as well. Not champion, but great IG player as well. She can shake the rust off. That's what's going to be. Can she shake the rust off in time?
Yeah, those are great people to spar against, like to just go and just have like a quick matchup between each other. Robert Parker and Kevin Smets on your side, like that's an intense, sparring partner right there, I think. So I think Mara is going to come in there. I don't think she's going to come in as rusty as some people might think. I actually have not seen that chatter anywhere inside of the Schmoedown world. I haven't seen anyone worried about Mara coming in with ring rust. I think what most people are talking about when it comes to the difficulties of this match is how long Chandru has defended this belt and the people that he's defeated for this belt. And that's really going to be where it's at. I think this is Chandru's game to lose. We'll see what it is. I really want Mara to win. I just want to see, just with everything that's the Schmoedown history-wise and stuff like that, I would just love to see Mara with the belt. I personally would also like to see the Inner Geekdom belt back in the dungeon. I think that's where it should stay. I love Swag, so that whole night is going to be terrible for me. I'm a big Winston fan, big Swag fan. Y'all know me, y'all drip all day long. That's what it was last year. And with some of the people that are in the dungeon now, it's very hard for me to not like have the dungeon be my faction this year because I love every single competitor inside of there. So it's very hard for me to not say that. So I'm going to be heartbroken either way.
Right?
Besides, exactly, that's right.
Keeps us all day.
It is really strange. It is unlike a lot of sports. I mean, I root for I'm a Red Sox fan, so I root for the jerseys. I root for the Red Sox. And this one, it is a lot different in terms of because we know we've gotten to go to the live events. We've gotten to meet a lot of these people. A lot of people I consider to be the friends of a lot of these people. So they're all split across different factions. It kind of becomes a little harder rooting just for the laundry. So you got to like pick here and there. But I love people in every team and every faction. So it's just interesting for me to watch. It's hard to say I choose this faction. I mean, I do choose Dungeon a little bit because I work with Bateman and Kevin Spetz is a wonderful human, and Kaiser's great. So I have to say Dungeon first for myself, but I do love the Suspects. I do love Swag. I love everything about like a lot of these teams.
Just be team Boston Badass. That's all that matters.
That's right.
Oh, that I am. Right now you're winning me over. Like I said, every minute we're on, I'm more and more team Boston Badass. So I'm a big Boston sports fan, so you already got that leg up in a way. So yeah, I know.
I mean, we don't have Brady anymore, but
you tell about the every freaking time phrase. I'm equidistant from Boston. I'm equidistant.
All right, so you want to hear something funny? When I was growing up, I was a huge Yankees fan.
Wow, from Boston.
I was growing up. I'm a hockey girl, so Bruins all day.
Gotcha.
I mean, now I'm Red Sox all day. But,
okay, fair enough.
When I was younger, it was all Yankees.
I did have to convert my wife at one point. My wife, one time, I met her, was a Yankee fan. She's no longer a Yankee fan. She has seen the light, as we say. So. But all right, so we got some other matches that were actually just announced recently. I had a couple of suspect matches actually, so definitely Paige, you have input on these. Amaru Moses, who is taken number 2 overall by Sam. I mean, that
Oh
is
man.
a show of confidence, if nothing else. Some people have said that it might be a reach. I mean, that not myself. I think it's definitely a ballsy strategy, especially you'd almost say that it really set up the whole the tempo of the draft, so to speak. It seems like that first rookie dropped, it's like all these rookies started going faster and faster than a lot of people even figured they would. But number 2 against Jesse Swift, who definitely is one of those people who made a name for himself in terms of he just put himself out there every chance he had. He put, I don't know how many videos on Facebook, calling people left and right. So it's definitely 2 characters that are going to have their chance to make a big splash. And of course, Peggy, as Amaru is one of the fan league 4, as Peggy is as well.
My favorite thing is if you mention any of the fan league 4, one of them will pop up
show up
inside
in
of
the
the chat. It's the
I know
best.
they're everywhere.
It's the best support ever. I absolutely love to see it because I'll see it in other people's shows as well. Like I'm just like ghosting in the chat like by myself, and then someone will bring someone, and then sure enough, someone pops up. I absolutely love to see it. So shout out to Peggy.
It's an interfactional. It's like actually an interfactional faction in a way. It's like this faction within the factions in a way. So it's interesting to see. I'm really going to be interested to see when they go up against each other, how that's going to work out for them as far as like.
I know, right?
who's
That will be
who,
interesting.
but,
Yeah.
But I don't say again. I saw some. Obviously, I've seen some tape on Amaru. He's definitely a knowledgeable IG player. Jesse Swift has some comments. My initial gut tells me it's Amaru who's going to win. That's a suspect.
Hands down. You don't even need to. I mean, there's some studying from this man. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but man's a freaking genius. So, I mean, sorry, Jack-o'-lantern, Jackal-who, Jackal-hole, your name is. I'm sorry.
Ooh, the Jackal.
I love you, Swift. I love you, Swift, but I'm sorry, man. But he actually we were talking to each other, and he was like, people are definitely gonna call me Jackal-hole, and I was like, I'm using it. So if you're listening,
Yeah,
Jesse,
own it.
Just for you, man. Just for you, man.
Own it. Yes. I am extremely pumped that this is the first match that we're getting. I know we're getting the throwdown in February, but like for the March matches, like the first rookie match that we're getting is Amaru. Like Christian was like, y'all, you don't get a break, dog. You got all this hype. You got all this stuff. You're going up first, buddy. So I would say,
yeah, you pick number 2, man. You got to get
That's
thrown
right.
in there right now.
Get through it. So I'm so pumped to see what he's got. I've never seen any of Amaru's game tape. I know that he's got plenty out there, that he's done a lot with the fan leagues and stuff like that, but I've never seen him play before. So for him to be the second overall draft pick and to have the hype that he had throughout, I thought, like, I'm super pumped, and I'm so excited that this is one of the first matches that we're getting. That I think that just Christian understands the hype and he knows it, and I'm super pumped that this is coming in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. I think both of them are really good players, so I think it's going to be fun. But I mean, I think my man's got it. So team suspect all day.
I have to let my cat out. She's
Sorry, I muted accidentally. But I think you're right on that. I do think he's going to win. But the interesting thing to be is if he doesn't win, that's a big setback for him. Whether or not it's one of those times where there's so many people in the league now that if you lose, it takes sometimes a little bit to get your game back. So hopefully, whoever does lose will be able to bounce back quickly. At least stay in the game, keep themselves invested in it, so they can make a comeback later on. Because I don't want to see any rookie, fall out right away. It's tough to go right away in the first match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, first 30 matches, whatever. But yeah, that's a big match on March 3rd. That's a big one. Kelsey, did you have anything to say more on that?
Just that I'm super excited. IG is my favorite, one of my favorite divisions, along with Star Wars, and just getting to see 2 rookies go against each other in that, I think it's going to be setting the tone for the season. This season is pretty incredible in the fact of how many rookies did get drafted this season. So we're going to get a bunch of these, and this being like the debut one that's going to introduce us to what it's going to be like seeing all these new players. I think it's a really good choice. So I'm excited, and I'm leaning Amaru, but I've also talked to Jesse, and I know he's a strong player, so I think he's going to come in fighting. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Another match you have coming up announced that again, another suspect.
Another big hype match too.
And Maurice Wilson, one of the famed 3 Dragon Con players, versus Sean Sully Sullivan. Now, I'm going to break your heart a little bit, Paige, at this point. I don't know Marie at all. I'm a big fan and friend of Sean Sullivan.
Yeah,
Sean Sullivan on this podcast. So I have to root against the suspects in this match, at least.
Sorry.
But I will say I'm very interested to see Marie, considering she's the Dragon Con champion. I'm interested to see what she has, especially as she transitions into the Schmoedown. That's the big question we have. Can the Dragon Con players make that transition from the Dragon Con trivia to this game, which is a little bit different? Sean, on the other hand, I know is pissed. He's fiery. He's pissed. He got taken a lot later on than he feels he should have been. I know he's kind of felt that like he's been a little overlooked because of the hype of the Dragon Con players, the hype of some of the Star Wars and Usenet players kind of thing that come in. A lot of people are talking about him. People are forgetting about Sean Sullivan. I think he's ready to go. I think he's going to put a hell of a match, and I can't wait to see what he has to do. I'm rooting Sully. I want to see what's going to happen. I can't predict it yet. I still can't predict it all. I have another week or two before I have to make my prediction, so I'll save that. But I'm going to go. I've got to go Sullivan right now.
I hope whatever Danny is putting in the chat. I'm so sorry, Paige. I hope whatever Danny is putting in the chat about Sean's new nickname is true. Like Sean the Fallen Sullivan. Or okay, I saw Fallen from Danny Cost. Danny Coast. Cost like lost. I like the Fallen. I'm sorry. I think that's great. I think that works well with the corruption theme also kind of. And I kind of think that that's great, especially for what Paul was just saying. There's a lot of people that sleep on Sully. Like I have a lot of faith in Sean. I really do. I know he's hungry. I know he wants it. So I think that he's really going to put it all going forward into this match. And again, Christian's giving us another match. Like, oh, y'all want to talk about these Dragon Con players? Here we go. Here's Marie. So I think like, and the fact, like just now kind of putting it together, like Sam was able to draft both of them. Like that's awesome because those are such hyped up matches, like the hype behind the crew that's with them. So I think that one, good on Sam. I cannot wait to talk to Sam on Monday. That's going to be super pumped. And then that gives the suspects a big chance to come forward because they're going to have two matches going into March already. So that's going to give them chances for points. And I'm excited to see what Marie does because to see Marie in the Schmoedown format is going to be nice. It's going to be interesting because she's going to be the first Dragon Con player that we see come into this format. So I'm really excited about that one as well. I am so pumped. This is so good.
Real quick, I just want to say we got a stream lab from Ferris Luthana from LGR. Hello.
Hi.
I love Ferris. Speaking of LGR, I don't, I'll totally, because there seems to be this funny thing that we don't let at the podcast, like how there's like friction against each other. We really don't. We love each other. We really do. I'll pitch if you want to see Sean Sullivan. He had quite an appearance on LGR last night where he showed how pissed off he was, how fire was, to the point where the chairman actually make note and wanted to spread the word that he definitely showed that he was ready to go. So that was a great interview as well. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Big shout out to Ferris. He and I are going to start a stereo show. He doesn't know it, but he and I are going to start a stereo show. It's going to be called Sugar and Spice. And Ferris is just going to be talking shit, and I'm just going to be talking sweet.
Really?
I like that.
No, but that's a great idea.
Well, now it's a thing now, Danielle. Sorry, but you're going to have to do it.
So right after the show, right?
I'm trying to will it into existence if he'll have me. Okay, that's it.
Fair enough. So get your questions.
Team Marie, man.
Team Marie. I have never seen her play. I really am interested to say.
I haven't either, but I've been talking to her. I mean, she's a huge Star Wars fan. We were talking about our Star Wars tattoos because I'm actually going to get another one in April. Get a little stormtrooper with a dagger through right here to finish up the sleeve, the American Duke sleeve. But she was like telling me she has so many tattoos. Like she's a huge fan, and I know she's been putting in the work and studying and stuff. So, I mean, we're gonna have to see, but I don't know if Sean knows what's coming to him. So,
all right.
I think he's gonna be very surprised. I think he's gonna be very surprised. He's gonna be like, did not know she knew her stuff, but that girl knows her stuff. So,
all right. I will say, you just mentioned a stormtrooper tattoo with a dagger. It reminded me, if you ever, I don't know how much of a reader you are, but there's an old Star Wars book called Death Troopers, which is a Star Wars story set within a horror genre. I would highly recommend it. It's very cool.
Yes, definitely message me that so I can purchase
I
that
will.
because I
I
need
will.
to touch up on my read a little bit because I've been watching so many movies. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. So that is two. We got two more matches we can discuss. And you might as well get your questions in now. We're going to have the two more matches to discuss, and we'll wrap it up, I believe. We got to say, I got to touch on one more thing after as well. I'll touch on one more thing. The two matches we got coming up: Vinny Mancuso from Swag versus Marisol McKee from Corruption. This is a great match. It's Marisol McKee's been the talk of the Schmoedown this entire offseason. It was whether she's going to be able to go back to Corruption, whether she's going to go back to Deception in Corruption. Of course, she got drafted by Kate, only to be traded back. She made it do, but her name was on basically every manager's lips in trying to get her. She's considered by some to be the future of the league to a degree. I'm interested to see where Vinny Mancuso can stand up against her, because Vinny Mancuso has had a couple of matches and he's always looked good, looked solid. But this is a good challenge for two veterans of the league. I'm actually very much looking forward to this. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I do think Marisol wins, but I'm hoping it's a close match. Any thoughts on that? Dan, you could start.
I think it's going to be a great matchup. So Vinny last year for the tournament went up against Sabrina for the play-in match, won that one, and then I believe he went up against John Roca. Is that right? He went up against a big player inside of maybe not last year, maybe when was it? Anyways, it was one tournament season that's pretty much where we've seen Vinny, and then we've also seen him in teams, and we know that he's done pretty well in the league, but we also know that Marisol has had this hype around her that's so high, and we've seen her do well in the league, and we've seen what Deception has been able to do. So it'll be interesting to see this matchup, because I really do I do think this is going to be a good stepping stone test for Marisol, and that's not putting anything against Vinny, because there's still a possibility that Vinny could take it and still take it for Swag. But I think this would be a good, interesting stepping stone path for Marisol if she does beat Vinny and then does go on to play extremely well inside of the league. I think that's when we can really, really say that Marisol is at the level that an Adam Collins player is. We've been saying it for a long time. We all feel like it, and we've seen her do very well. We just haven't seen her go as far as we know that she can. So I think it'll be interesting to see her run. And since it's starting so soon, it'll be very good, especially with the big trade thing. Like that was a big deal. So
Vinny beat Sabrina Ramirez and he lost to Ethan Irwin.
Ethan Irwin. I knew it was a big name. I just couldn't remember if it was a big name. So
he didn't really. I mean, Ethan definitely took care of business with that, but I don't think. I mean, he's
Ethan Irwin, man.
He's Ethan Irwin
Yeah.
again. So, but he's had about. I mean, you have the same record actually, because Marisol was also 1-1, but Marisol lost to Paula Yama, who went perfect in that game also.
And
so
it's kind of hard. Paula Yama also. So
hard to beat somebody when they go perfect. That's when it's almost out of your hands at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
But all pressure is on Marisol.
Like Billy says in the chat, all pressure is on Marisol.
That's true.
Yep, that's true. Accurate.
Yep.
That's very true. So she'll have to see if she can live up to the hype. Any thoughts on that? Anybody else?
Just pretty much everything that's been said. I love Vinny. I think he's a great player, but having watched Marisol, I just think she is coming in already from a kind of a bit of a stronger place, and I feel like she's pumped for this season. I think she wants to prove herself even more this season than she did last season. So I think she's gonna be very hard to beat. So she's who I have.
All right.
Exactly what Kelsey just said. I've actually had a chance to speak with her, and that girl's coming in hot this season. So we shall see.
Yeah,
definitely is. I think Belford says that Vinny's video Drew said Vinny's knowledge is crazy. Hey, if he could put that together, I'd love to see it. Stranger things have happened, that's for sure. This league, anybody can kind of be anybody at
Very
a time.
true.
So it just happens to be, the right roll
This
of dice.
depends
Right? My
The
question
questions
is
go your way. The questions go your way.
So, I mean, I'm going to predict Marisol, but I am not sleeping on Vinny at all. So. All right, one more match we can talk about. The big match that was announced. I'm very excited about this. The number one contender match. Dangerous Dan Murrell versus the Insider, Jeff Snyder. Jeff is trying to say it's GOAT versus GOAT, as he does predict that. I got to say, I'm kind of I can't overlook Jeff Snyder anymore. I'm kind of he's been pushing his way to that Schmoedown, Mount Rushmo for a long, long time. And every time I kind of count him out, I'm thinking, he just tends to just come back like a zombie from the dead and just takes it and puts his stamp on it on the Schmoedown. I would not be surprised to see Jeff Snyder make his mark. My own analysis, though, says I think this is going to be interesting as the new wheel slices. There's a lot of new slices that have been added this year. I know that. And especially the intergeekdom slices intergeekdom slice is definitely a killer for Snyder. We all know his stance on intergeekdom. He's kind of famous for his hatred. Is probably the nicest word I could use for the intergeekdom slice. So that would be an interesting wrinkle. But on the other hand, the intergeekdom slices for singles is going to be a lot less. It's not going to be the intergeekdom type questions. It's going to be much more surface level. And as somebody who works in the business like he does, I think he even then could be able to handle the more surface level questions of, who acted in it, who directed it, that kind of thing, which might be more of his alley. I think this is my favorite match of the year so far already. The early match. I want Dan and Jeff against each other. It's been a long time coming. I got to go Dan. I can't ever vote against Dan. I would not be shocked if Jeff wins. I mean, this is definitely going to be a big first test for Jeff right off the bat. Hey, what do you think about this with Dan Murrell, the dangerous one, the GOAT? What are your thoughts on this? And against the Snyder, Boston boy. So
I know. I mean, the war is really going down right there. That's going to be that's going to be one for the battlefield right there. That's for damn sure. I mean, two amazing competitors, but I got to go with my Boston man. I think he's. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see, but it's gonna be for damn sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelsey, how about you?
This one is so hard for me because honestly, I feel like any day of the week, one or the other could win. You're right. I think it's really going to depend on what comes up with the wheel and just what these new categories are going to look like, how prepared each competitor is for them if they do come up. I mean, I'm super dungeon this year, so it's hard for me to root against Dan Murrell. So I'm gonna say he probably takes it, but I like you said, I would not be shocked if Jeff won. Like I'd be like, oh cool, Jeff won, because I'd be excited for it because I love Jeff. Jeff's one of my favorite competitors. But this one's gonna be a tough one. I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people maybe are anticipate it being. I think it's gonna be a really good match.
That could be true. If Harry Potter's in the wheel, Jeff Snyder might not be able to handle that. That's a good question. That's a good question I have real quick, Tori Danny, where you answer. How did Roxy not draft Paige? I mean, it does seem that Boston connection should have been made there at some point. I want to ask Roxy about that. Did Roxy ever talk to you at all?
She did. Yes, we did talk. Did. Yeah.
Okay. I won't ask any further. I can't because it seems like that would be an interesting.
No, she's a cool Boston girl. I love her no matter what. So everyone from Boston in the Schmoedown, I'm a huge fan of no matter what. Like, the man has a freaking rule after him. So, I'm a fan of all of them. So,
yeah. Roxy does play her cards very close to her chest, also. So she's does not let a lot of people in her. So Jeff Snyder, Dan Murrell, I am very much looking forward to this match. It's going to be a great one. Jeff is in a win-win situation in here. If he beats Dan Murrell, he fucking beats Dan Murrell, and he gets to settle. He gets to continue to call himself the GOAT of the Schmoedown. If he loses against Dan Murrell, all he has to say is that he lost to the GOAT of the Schmoedown. So it's a win-win situation for Jeff, and I think there's a little bit of pressure on Dan for that reason, just because. Dan said it best whenever he lost the belt to Paulo Yama. When you got a target on you, or what is it? Oh, I don't know it verbatim, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The way that he talked about being the best, people are going to come for you. And right now, Dan Murrell, going in for that number one contender. I know Dan definitely wants a shot at that belt again. I know Jeff definitely wants a shot at that belt, and it's going to go head to head. Jeff it's hard to call Jeff Snyder an underrated player. I don't think he's an underrated player at all. I really don't. I think people at this point are aware of who Jeff Snyder is and what he can do in the league. I do think for a couple of years before he did not have that type. So I think a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, it was okay to call Jeff Snyder an underrated player. I've always been a big fan of Jeff Snyder. I cannot wait to see this match, but unfortunately, I am going to have to just kind of side on Dan just a little bit. I can't ever vote against Dan Murrell. I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing. I can't ever, those teams that just always win and you just always I don't want to say I'm on a Dan bandwagon or anything like that. Like, let's not go that far. Come on, y'all. Let's not take that far at all. But I do think it's very hard to ever root against Dan Murrell. I think with anyone that he plays against, it's very hard to root against Dan Murrell. So
I think
either
overall,
way,
yeah.
There you go. Danny is on the Dan
honestly,
wagon.
it can go either way. So
Danny's on the Dan wagon. That's what Jake says, and I'm going to hashtag that later on. Danny on the Dan wagon. I like that. Well, those are the matches that we have coming up. Those are the ones we've talked about. I think we'll go into a little more depth as the show, the weeks continue, so to speak. If you get your last questions in, I don't know, one topic I did want to touch base on before we get out of here. We were talking at one point to the chairman of the FCL, the First Class League there. The chairman, Brad Gilmore, will be appearing on our show at some point in the near future. We don't have a date yet. He's a very, very busy man. He's got a league to develop. So he does want to make an appearance. So any thoughts on the First Class League, what you expect from it, what you hope to see from it? I'm excited about it. I know they made some announcements probably on Tuesdays. Get to see the people who didn't quite make the draft or get drafted, so to speak, but might have what it takes eventually. As we all know, Adam Collins was a midseason call-up last year, and look what he did. So is that someone who's going to come from the First Class League this year? Who knows? Any thoughts on that? Any questions? Anything you want to mention about that, Carolyn?
For me, I am super excited. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get to show what they've got that didn't maybe get the opportunity to play in the main Schmoedown. I do have to admit, it's a little overwhelming because there's already so much Schmoedown content coming out. To add another thing I want to watch and be able to report on for here, it's just like, okay, social life's gone. But I'm also, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's overwhelming, but also exciting at the same time. So I'm super stoked to see what they have in store for us with it.
How about you, Danny?
I am super pumped about FCL. I can't lie. I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to say that I wasn't a fan of the fan leagues. It just, at the time, just too much content for me to take in, especially with trying to do all of this stuff with that. Like, I gave up on my social life. Oh, man. But trying to keep up with everything was hard, and that's why I never really kept up with the fan leagues. And then the fan leagues kind of turned into this whole other entity in its own way, to where like you needed to kind of catch up with it to kind of understand it just a little bit. At least that was from my perspective. So I feel like this is going to be a great venture into into the development of people inside for the Schmoedown. Like, to see a new class kind of come in is a lot of fun, and to be able to see that, I think will be great. Especially utilizing Twitch. I think utilizing Twitch is a great idea for the platform. Get those views up, and I think it'll be a fun thing to do. I think it's going to be a great way to get other people involved in it as well if they see these matches on Twitch, especially with the way that the platform is. I think it's just going to open up to a whole bunch of things, and I think FCL is going to be the best way to do that. So I'm very much looking forward to FCL.
Paige, what about you in the suspects? Are you guys going to keep an eye on the players in the family or the First Class League, looking to potentially boost your roster mid-season?
Yeah, I mean, long enough to my spot, then we're good. But no, I think it's awesome though. I mean, I think it's awesome that they're building a developmental league for those to get an opportunity to try to get where they want to be, which is, I mean, this is a dream come true to be into the Schmoedown. I mean, I've been a huge fan, so the fact that I got the opportunity to be in here, I think is amazing. So to give other people the chance to, at some point in their careers, to get into the Schmoedown as well, I think is just an awesome opportunity to give people. So
yeah, I like that. You said somebody said whoever said best. Developmental league is a bigger thing. A lot of people call it the minors. It's different. It's not quite the minors. The developmental league is a little different. Basically, I think it's going to give people a shot. People who don't know how to be on camera, for example, they might have great trivia knowledge, but they can't quite get over their character. They're a little nervous about it. It's a place where they can kind of come into the room, create their own character.
Exactly.
To the point. Because I'll even call out. I love Adam Collins on here. I know Adam Collins, when he came into the league, the Schmoedown the first time, a lot of people call him out for being like boring potentially, not having a lot of character, and he made a lot of progress. I love by the end of the year when he was champion, he had this dry, like cutting edge humor that he really had to hone this personality of himself that wasn't quite as apparent when he first came in. When he first kind of dipping his toes in. This is where the developmentally comes into play, I think. you get to have those matches down there, that time up there. By the time you get into the Schmoedown, you're already ready to go. You've had that experience in a way. I think it's great for the Schmoedown, great for the league in the future. I can't wait to have it. And hopefully, I guess I will have Brad Gilmore on to kind of pick his brain about what his thoughts are and where he can take this league and go from there. But yeah, that's it. Danny.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's it for the day? Are we done for the day?
I think that's it. Unless there's any questions.
I did not see any questions in the chat, y'all. So we are going to wrap it up for tonight. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Thank you so much for everyone that's been hanging out with us inside of the chat. Big shout out and big thank you to Paige for coming in and hanging out with us throughout this Saturday night. Woo! Suspects got some matches coming up, so we're definitely looking forward to all of that stuff. Before we get out of here, Paige, let us know what you got going on. Tell the good people where they can find you.
I mean, guys, I wrote it down to make it easy for you guys. Suspects, man. Team Boston Badass all day. And two, you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Front Page News. I also run my own movie blog on Instagram titled Future Flicks, without the C if you can't tell. Yeah, right there we post movie news, movie reviews, top 10 lists, tournaments, all the jazz. So definitely come check it out, guys. And thank you guys so much for having me on. You guys are awesome. And anytime you guys will have me back on, I'd love to be back on.
Yes,
well,
we
usually do a 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 interview type show. So when you have your first match, we'll definitely have you back on to get more of a deep dive into your history and where we are at the time. So we can't wait for that. So.
Paul, keep talking. Let them know what you got going on.
Okay, yeah, I will. It's a nice segue. Thanks, Kenny. You can find me at Paul_Tunisia on Twitter. You can find me every week on every other week with my favorite co-host Danny and Kelsey on Chilled Action. At this point, that's the interview show I was talking about. We do have some changes coming up, though. I will say that kind of now. Some changes on the network coming up with this show, with Chill, with a bunch of other things. We have a bunch of new shows coming out. We have the new show After Action Report, headed by Megs, our own better version of Frankie Numbers. I love you, Frankie, but I have to back my girl at statistics here. She does a stats-driven show about the Schmoedown on Mondays. The show I mentioned earlier with Billy Belford, Turn It Up to 11, our first top 11 moments of the Schmoedown history. That's going to be an awesome Turn It Up to 11. This like Spinal Tap says, Turn It Up to 11. That's going to be a lot of fun. On Monday, speaking of Chilled Action, we have a very special Chilled Action sliced in between those two shows where we are going to be having on Sam Levine from The Usual Suspects.
Best manager in the league.
Not a lot of people have talked to him about his draft. I do feel he has an underrated draft. I feel he hasn't had a chance to really talk about it with very many after shows or whatever. So we're going to give his platform, and we're going to deep dive and pick his brain about what his what his strategies were for the draft and how he came to pick Amaru second and to pick the Boston Badass and everything else in between as well.
He's a smart man. That's why.
That's why.
And finally, for me, you can also find me on Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy's Action Industries channel. Yep, there it is. There's the nice little thumbnail by Jake. Always Jakey Yachts with the great thumbnails there. Action Industries YouTube channel. I do WandaVision reviews every Friday and also all their certain things. And finally, PLD Projects. Scoundrels of the Forest, my Star Wars show I just do every Saturday morning, very early, 7 a.m. Eastern, because my cats, either scoundrels, are from Europe, UK, and Kuwait. So it's the time to do on their time a little bit too. But check that out as well, PLD Projects, and that's where you can find me. Thank you.
All right, and you can find me at KelseyKins90 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Miss Quinkins on Instagram. That's my cosplay page. Twitch, hopefully I'm trying to have some projects in mind to do some watch-alongs. I just finished my chronological MCU watch-through in 4 days, by the way. And I would like to do it again with you guys and do a watch-along or something. I thought that would be fun. So yeah, Twitch, it's KelseyKins Gamer. And of course, you can find me here all the time, every week. So.
Yeah, you know me. It's your girl, Danny Joy. You can find me on Twitter at Danny Joy, DANIEJOY. You can also find me here on the Call to Action Network, hanging out with all of these fine folks. You can find me on the shows that they all talked about. Chill to Action, coming up this Monday, After Action Report. We're going to be doing the second half of the draft, breaking down the stats and numbers for all of that on Monday as well. PLD and Billy going to be doing Turn It Up to 11. Can't forget our brand new show, probably my favorite new show.
I forgot all about it.
No Chill with Nat and Dylan is so great. If you haven't had a chance, that's going to be usually on Twitch, but they are going to also put it on the YouTube channel. Go and watch that on the playback. You can go and find that. It's 15 minutes long, y'all. Go and watch this interview with Brendan Meyer. It's hilarious. It's super great.
Basically, let's throw it out there. Basically, between two ferns with a Schmoedown competitor. That's how it is.
Yes. Between two ferns, chill to action style. So
pretty much. Brendan Meyer is the
That
first
is
guest.
awesome.
yeah, I was super pumped for that. Make sure that you check out our Twitch Tuesdays as well. Nat and Dylan are usually cutting it. I was gonna say cutting it up with cheese over there, and it does like. Man, Twitch Tuesdays, y'all. Go and find those Twitch Tuesdays. You can also go to my personal YouTube channel. I will be bringing back Padawan Book Club. First thing that we're going to do is talk about Light of the Jedi, A Test of Courage, and The Great Jedi Escape. The Great Jedi Rescue. I always call it Escape, but it's The Great Jedi Rescue. Going to do reviews for those. And then going into March or mid-February, we will be doing the book club for Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. So go to my YouTube channel. More information about that will come out. Yay! That's going to be it for everyone from the Call to Action Network. Thank you all so much. We love you. Make sure that you like this video. Comment on this video afterwards. Let us know if there's any other questions that you have for Paige. Put them in the comments. We'll make sure that we get them to her. If you want to let us know what you thought about Between Two Ferns is what I was going to say. No Chill with Nat and Dylan. Tell us in the comments. Let us know. Hit us up in there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. C2A2K coming soon, y'all. We love it. Thank you again. That's pretty much it. Give your puppies a belly rub. Tell your people that you love them. And as always, we salute you. Bye.